guys, welcome into episode 21, right? Episode 21 of Comic Book Women. The girls and I are pumped. We have model at Meghan Ashley here with us tonight. She is the official face and model for the Marvel Mystique comic book series. We'll have her with us in just a second, so don't go anywhere. All right, we are in. Meghan, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us. We are very excited. You are the first model we've ever had on our show.
Yay.
You know, that's not a first thing I've heard. what I do is not generally done in the industry. So yeah.
It's so neat. We're very excited about it. We're going to kick the show off pretty quick tonight, guys. We're going to start. Meghan, we want to know how you even got into this industry. How did that happen?
Well, legend goes, my aunt told my dad that he should get me into modeling. And so they did. When I was 14 years old, so I used to ask my parents every year for a TV for Christmas. And one year when I was 14, I was like, this is the last year. I'm just going to go for it and cross my fingers and we're just going to go for it. And that year I got this big heavy box for Christmas and I opened it up and there was a modeling portfolio inside and a cinder block. So they thought they were being really funny. And I was like, damn it. But I got a whole career out of it. So yeah.
That's pretty amazing. I would be a little bit bummed, but it ended up working out. These images are stunning. We spoke a little bit before the show started, and can you explain exactly what this is before we get to the covers? Like, what are we looking at right now?
You want me to explain about Mike Mayhew's artistic style real quick?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, for those of you out there who don't know.
Mike Mayhew did the covers, most of the covers, for the Mystique comic book line. There were a couple other people who had the job before him, but then once he got the job, Marvel was like, you're awesome, let's run with it. And he does photorealism, which is epic. So what he does is he takes photographs of people and in the position and whatever, and then he hand draws them. A lot of time he was using watercolors or like hand drawn, not in the computer. He was actually doing it in real life. So he's taking the picture, and then he's drawing from it. So in the picture, if you want to cycle back real quick, that is actually a combination that a different artist did where he took the actual photograph that Mike Mayhew took and Mike Mayhew's finished artwork and meshed it together. The artist here, his name was Bart Buss.
So he combined those two, the photo shoot and in the art together.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like modeling fusion. It's beautiful. I actually like this one. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it, but I kind of like this one better than the actual picture that ended up being the cover. Because, you see Mystique, I always think Rebecca Romaine.
Jennifer Lawrence, and
Jennifer Lawrence is great. I love Jennifer Lawrence, but I always think Rebecca in my mind.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jen?
I mean, I think it whenever you jumped on to the X-Men movies is kind of what you see her as, right?
Mm. So when would that have been? Was that like the early 2000s?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. So yeah, but guys, so if you're just hopping in, Mike Mayhew was the one that was working primarily on these covers. Photorealism, you want to make it look as real as possible. So Meghan would pose and then he would do it by hand, which is crazy.
Yeah, it wasn't in the computer. It wasn't like Photoshop. It wasn't Paint, Microsoft Paint or whatever he was actually doing it like, in real time or whatever.
That's amazing to me that he's so talented. Okay, so these three are example of some of the covers. The first one, you were saying before the show started that this was difficult. How did you go about shooting that picture? It looks awkward.
So every single one of these covers, I am in that position, full on. This one, however, the explosion scene, we had to cheat just a little bit because that's actually taken in two parts. in two photos because the center of balance is so far over the knee, in front of the knee, that I kept falling over. So we had to do it like where I was pushed up against a wall, holding myself, and then like holding myself so he can get the bottom part. So it's actually the pictures in two different pictures, and he painted them together.
Wow, that is
Because you can't hold that position without there being
like wires, like a harness.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was a harness maybe that they used, and you were kind of flying while they took this.
Yeah, I was thinking, you know what I kind of picture it was like more like being a mat there while you jumped in air, take it and land. That's how I was picturing it.
Like gymnastics. Megan, Chad Cave says, Christ, looks like I'm going to be buying a bunch of Mystique books. Thanks a lot, Megan and Mike. Yeah, they're stunning. And this is just, yeah. Jen, do you have anything to add on this one?
I mean, it kind of a little bit reminds me of like Alex Ross, how he kind of does that too, where he takes pictures of people and then like that. It's cool. Like
It's become a much more popular art form technique now than it was, you know what, I'm going to age myself here, but 20 years ago.
No, that's fine.
but at least like Mike said it. Like hey, I use this photo. I think today we're coming across like artists like keeping it on the DL and then like, oh no, it's original. And then it's like, no, you had a model help you. Like you need to give the credit, you know?
Well, the thing is, he always said that he wanted to use a model, a real life human being, so that he can get the shadows and the lights and the textures, you know, and the weight of fabric, you know, like the fact that I'm wearing vinyl instead of leather, you know, but the gloves are leather, but the outfit's vinyl. So there's like a different weight and a different feel and the way the light hits it. And you can't fake that.
I hadn't even thought about that. That's totally true. Like you have to get that shine to it, like a liquid almost. Yeah. I mean, I think it's smart. If I ever had to do artwork, I think I'd want some type of reference.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
I'd have
And
Lucy as my Wonder Woman.
thank you. How did you get into cosplaying Mystique?
Okay. So I got into cosplaying Mystique because of Mike Mayhew.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the outfit. I owned that outfit. So when I started going to Comic Cons, I was like, I would go. I was actually going. The first time I went to Comic Con San Diego, I was going because I was helping some friends out, a photographer friend of mine, and I was being a booth babe for him because him and a friend of his were doing a comic book. So I was like, I just want a little bit of time. I want to paint myself up blue and go. There was a Marvel cosplay contest. So I'm like, I'm gonna go see if I can win. I'm gonna paint myself blue. I'm gonna wear the outfit. I did not win, but wah wah. But like these little kids were coming up to me and like wanting pictures with me, and I'm like, do you want happy face or you don't want scary face? And they were like, scary face.
That's awesome.
So it was really kind of cool to kind of live and embody this person, you know, out in the real world.
That's so funny you just brought that up. Here's what Chad Cave again said. The art is great, but the facial expressions are perfect for Mystique. There's a lot of thought that got put into these covers. And that's true. Like if I was hanging, like it looks like you are in this first one, I think it'd be more like, versus, you know.
I'm the worst with faces, yeah.
Yeah, he really worked with me a lot on that one. I'm actually propped up on a ladder. And then because the pants I had were bondage pants, so they had the rings already attached to them. So he's just like, I'm just going to use the rings that are on your pants and draw in a harness. But I'm actually like supported on a ladder. So and holding myself up with one hand because I was doing a lot of yoga at that time, so I was really strong.
Oh my gosh, I need to get into yoga, man, so bad. Like, really quickly, we have Garrett Gunn in the house, guys. He said, hey, ladies, missed you already. Garrett Gunn was on our show a few weeks back. He is the author of Warcorns, which Jen reviewed a while ago, and it started this whole ripple effect because now we're all kind of huge Garrett Gunn girlfriends. Is that what we call it?
Now he's part of a comic book woman now.
Yeah, he joined the group. So if Barrett's in, that means the rest of you guys have to as well. Okay, one other thing I wanted to ask you, though, before we move on to the next one. Whenever I was going through all of these covers, it seems like the easiest way to identify like which ones are yours is, again, the outfit. Where did that come from? Like, what was the thought process behind this?
So when I went to go on the audition or the casting call for this job with my Mayhew, I owned the top already. So
From
I was
like clubbing or something?
We can all think Hot Topic back in the day.
Oh,
Just saying.
right.
God bless Hot Topic and lip service clothing. That whole outfit is lip service, by the way. And lip service went because vinyl has a lifespan. So when that top, the original top died on me, they remade the top for me.
That's cool.
They were really awesome about that. But I owned the top already, and so I wore it to the casting, and because I was a big Mystique fan to begin with. Her and Rogue were my top two favorites. So I was in the outfit in jeans, but he kind of got the feel and the idea. He's like, okay, can you get pants to match? And I'm like, I will do my best. And I went back to Hot Topic and I got the vinyl pants, and sure enough.
Oh, wow. Very cool. Jen. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Lucy, go ahead.
Oh, so how did the casting go? Like, how did you hear about it? Like, was it from the cons, or like how did?
This is back in Arizona. Yeah, this is back in Arizona. So I'm with a modeling agency because it's what I do. And so he just called into the modeling agency and was like, I'm looking for a girl, this height, red hair, so so on and so forth. And a bunch of us, get interviews or castings, as they're called, and went down and talked to him, and he picked the person that was as close to what he envisioned that he wanted. So that turned out to be me. I got lucky.
How freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Lucy would be Wonder Woman. I could see it. Jen, who would we cast you as?
I can totally see Wonder Woman, yeah.
Oh, she could totally pull it off.
I just want to give Megan, give you props and credit for having the gumption to enter a cosplay contest. Like that takes something, you know what I mean? Like,
I thought I was totally going to win too. And I'm like, because I am Mystique, and I did not win because those girls who do cosplay contests are out for blood. I mean, they're like, it was, well, I mean, not out for blood, but they're like, their outfits are amazing. Professional cosplayers are like, I have nothing on them. They're amazing.
And it was your first time, right?
Yeah, it was my first time ever painting myself or anything. Yeah.
That's so
very it's pretty neat. I mean, I can't imagine ever, like what Jen was saying, being brave enough to put yourself out there and just see what happens. But I guess going in with the confidence, like I'm gonna win, probably made you feel better.
I had fun. It's all that mattered.
Exactly. So when I was scanning through your covers, I was looking at this one in the center that reminds me so much of Entrapment. This is such a cool, doesn't it, you guys? The laser and everything. So I was telling Anthony, I'm like, I think I could maybe bend enough, but not to have the leg up. How, Megan?
My right foot is on a box, and then I just lifted the left foot up in the air. And like I said, I was doing a lot of yoga at the time. So, and then of course, he just draws in the light beams wherever he needs them to be. So that's just the easy part.
Your foot's on a box.
My right foot is actually on a box, obviously not in the picture, but in real life, my foot was on a box. And then I just lifted the left foot in the air. And then held a hand out.
Okay.
Simple, right? Simple.
Yeah. But I mean, you think like you're actually doing all that stuff to get, that's how we see it. Like, oh my God.
See, here's the thing. What I always told Mike was like, he would have preliminary drawings of what his idea was that he wanted to do. And he'd bring them to me, and I'd be like, all right, go ahead and go get your stuff. Let me think about this for a second. And then by the time he got his equipment, I was like, okay, I need your help getting into the position, but once I'm there, I can hold it. So that's basically, a lot of these things were like that. He had to help me get into the position, but I could hold it.
Yeah, I was thinking about Mike Mayhew too, because we brought him up on one of our previous interviews. He had done a sketch. Richard Hamilton, girls, remember? He did a sketch of Richard Hamilton at the very end, and he's so talented. There's just such a, I mean, this is an intense rendition of Mystique. When I look at the way he captured the facial expressions, like what Renstrom was saying up here. No, it was Chad Cave. I think I'm starting to become a huge fan. I never collected Mayhew, but I think I'm going to have to add him into my...
Oh, so worth it.
What's he like as a person?
I love him. I love him so much.
Really?
And I got to work with him on a couple other, two other comic book covers. The Women of Marvel. I have to look. I know I have. I think I have that cover downloaded somewhere. But in that I'm actually like a few different people on the cover. So I got to work with him. All of these Mystique ones were done in Arizona. And then after I moved out to LA in 2005, I worked with him again a couple more times because he was bouncing back between LA and Arizona.
So you're not in Arizona with me anymore?
Unfortunately, no. I've done my time in the desert.
Oh, Anthony found it. Hold on. How can I show this? I'll hold it up to the camera.
Yeah,
Is that the one?
Oh, you see me as Rogue. You can see my face. I'm totally Rogue.
Oh, that's so neat. I'll have to add a link to this in the chat.
Yeah, look at Rogue. You see Rogue's face. That's totally me, right?
100%. How crazy, man.
And then like I'm like the Catwoman, you know, like the leopard chick, like moving, and I'm like different body parts of different other girls. And...
There, holding it up.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
God,
see that one? Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
But I'm like, he had the face, but he needed more of the body. So like we worked together on some of the bodies on some of the other girls.
Oh, very cool. Hold on real quick. Wow. I got to catch up on comments. I'm so far behind. Yeah. Donald said that's a very cool cover. It reminds me of my Smurfette addiction.
Oh.
Each their own, right? Okay, so I'm going to let Jen, what does this one say?
Mayhew was always amazing, but these books are next level.
Like they really are.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? I mean, not to shit on other people, but like I feel like not all like cosplayers like covers are as amazing as these. Like you just freaking nail it. Like you're Mystique, you know, like that. It's just so.
Well, that's why I say I was a Mystique fan before I ever showed up for the casting call. So like, you know, and like I even did a little research just to like bone up on the character. But so I went in there and I'm like, I am totally this girl. So it worked.
That is
see, yeah. And that one with Wolverine, that's my favorite one.
Because your face?
Yeah, because he had to shoot, we were in two different locations. He shot me in Arizona and Wolverine was a guy in LA.
That's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. So I don't know how they shot Wolverine like that, but I was not there for that part. But yeah.
Probably just like yours, maybe, you know, how the explosion one, maybe like
this one
part. Yeah. Like one part, it's like one photo and the other one, another. Wow.
Oh, hold on. Whoop, lost my spot. There we go. I like the center one. I think it's really artistic. There's something about that cover that's just, ugh.
Well, that was to incorporate the idea that Mystique sucks in all these people and copies all these people, and then she loses an idea of who she really is.
Oh.
Because she's taken on so many personas, and each one kind of stays with her.
And slowly drains her true identity.
Kind of, yeah.
Symbolism.
Yeah, the Mystique that's in, because this was part of the Tsunami line of comics back when they were trying to incorporate it or giving female characters their own comic books. So it was called the Tsunami line, and Mystique actually did the best out of all of them. Although, unfortunately, this was back before they were really giving women their own books. But so Mystique is a little bit of a different character in these books specifically than if you go back to the X-Men books or, you know, Miss Marvel. she's more of an independent mutant, and they touch base on certain things a little bit differently in her personality and her character and her nature, the way her mystique ability, her mutant ability works for her.
Wow.
You totally just pointed out something that I hadn't even thought about. Nowadays, I feel like we're seeing these female independent comic runs all the time. We're getting Punchline. I mean, Wonder Woman just did that whole new Brazilian thing. But you're right. There wasn't as much of a focus on them up until like recently.
Well, especially like the villains. I feel like, like there was Miss Marvel and like some other females. But as far as like female villains and then being like prominent and displayed, and like even Mystique's character, right, like has evolved through the ages. And yeah,
they brought She-Hulk out at the time too, and she was part of the Tsunami line, and she did the second best to Mystique was She-Hulk, in the purple outfit, and but that's when they brought her out, and she's been doing like gangbusters.
Wow, that is so cool. Well, yeah, like you said, Laura and Megan, like I didn't think about that till right now, like that era, that time.
She's representing all the women in comic books, right?
Right.
Guys,
Yes.
if you are just hopping in, we have model Meghan Ashley here with us tonight. She was the official face of body of Mystique for the Marvel comic book series. Here's a couple, if you just missed them, of some of the covers that she has done. I'm assuming most of these you have to find on eBay nowadays, right?
Back issue bends, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe in back issue bends. They're all stunning, though. Really quickly here, we're going to go to a word from our sponsors, then we're going to go on to another side of Megan's modeling that is so cool. So don't go anywhere. Quick shout out to our sponsors over at Bird City Comics. Head over to their website for an additional 15% off your entire order when you use code CBW15. Back to the show. Okay, so we talked covers already, but there's something that you guys just have to see. Megan was the model for a statue. Hold on, it's going to come up. Wait for it. Oh my God.
It's beautiful.
This is stunning, Megan. It's absolutely stunning. So what was the process to get this made? Did you stand there for like hours, or was it just a picture that they kind of scanned around your whole body? How do you become a statue?
I love you for thinking I was there. I was not there. No, this is based off of Mike Mayhew's work, right?
Oh.
So and I will always love this statue because now I know what I'll look like with bigger boobs. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, I found out about this the same way everybody else found out about it when it came out, because I told you I was at Comic-Con. I don't know if this was the first or second year I was at Comic-Con helping my friend out. Like I said, I was. And I got a text message from my friend on the East Coast, my friends Brad and Audrey. And they're big Comic-Con people, huge Comic-Con people. And they had moved to the East Coast, so they didn't make it out that year because they had just moved. And they're like, have you seen your statue? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, go to Sideshow Collectibles. There's a statue of you. And I'm like, what? And so I am running through Comic-Con, through the floor, from one end to the next, trying to find, and I'm like grabbing strangers. Like, can you tell me where Sideshow Collectibles is? They're like, why? I'm like, there's a statue of me. I have to find it. And they're like, here, come with me. And this guy ran with me and took me to Sideshow Collectibles. And then, like, out of a movie, the people just part, and there it was. I'm like, oh my God, that's me. And like the guys that were, I figured out what was going on, and they're like, what's going on? I'm like, that's me. And they're like, here, and they interviewed me for their channel and everything, and then they hooked me up with a deal. But apparently what happened was some friends of, like I said, my friends Brad and Audrey, another set of friends of ours were there from San Diego, and instead of them calling me, they called my friends Brad and Audrey. So it went from California to the East Coast and back to California for me to find out that there was a statue of me.
That's for free?
Oh, it was great, dude.
I would want like 15 of these just all around my house. Right? This would be like everywhere. Here's a couple comments. Meghan is Mystique. That was Steve.
Oh, wait, Steve. I know Steve.
Steve, hi.
I know him. Yes. Hi, Steve.
Oh,
You sound like
that's
Will
awesome.
Ferrell and Alf. I know him.
No, I used to live in the same apartment complex with him.
Oh,
very-
that's awesome.
He's
Look
my
at
neighbor.
that.
Frank said, damn, that's awesome. Super sexy. And my favorite, Jesus Christ on a motorbike. I think that means that it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Wow, that is so. It's such a. I love that story. Like how you found yourself in this statue. Like I mean, I don't know. Like what my reaction would have been. Like I would have started crying, or I don't know what. Like what the heck? Oh my! I don't know if I will. Like me, no. Like knowing I will be like feel embarrassed at the same time, but then at the same time, like I don't know, multiple mixed feelings. I cannot imagine like how you felt.
It felt awesome. I was totally a goofball because they were never able to use. I told you they interviewed me. They couldn't use the footage because I was just like looking around and like the audio. I kept going away from the microphone and I'm like I was just a total spaz.
It's just so. I mean, it's perfect. Like I said, you just having so many emotions. Like at that time. So I'm sure it was hard to have an interview right after that.
Somebody wants to know if you got royalties off of it.
I wish. No, and that's the other thing is people always ask me about that because of artistic integrity or I can't think of the word right now, but because Mike Mayhew used my image, do I get, like you said, royalties? And I'm like, no, it was Mike just hired a model as an artistic inspiration, but that's where the line was drawn. Yeah,
I'd be thrilled and angry. Did she get paid for the likeness, or was that part of the original contract? It just kind of came up later. It sounds like.
What?
Yeah.
Like the statue wasn't something that you were aware of.
No,
being made.
and that, like I said, that's not me. That's Mike Mayhew's work. It's
his work.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a photographer. I'm assuming like a photographer, like they have the rights, even though it's you, they have the rights to the picture and they're able to use it and they can buy it off of him.
If I had any idea what Mystique was going to become, especially in my life, I might have negotiated the contract differently.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. So when I was looking at this on eBay, I'm like, okay, this is probably reasonably priced. They're selling for over $500 on eBay right now.
I can't remember what the original price point on that was.
It's really rare. It's difficult to find. And do you remember how big is this?
It's big. It's big. It is. It's over. I think it's like 13 inches or something.
Oh,
well, the shipping was like $150 on this, and I was like, "What the hell are they sending?"
Well, also, there's two different versions of this. There's the regular version, but you see the skull belt she's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was only for a limited number of statues.
Oh,
so actually, the one I have does not have this belt, but the one my mom has the belt.
Oh.
And they're of course they're all numbered and
we need to do a whole show, Lucy, Jen. Don't you guys think, just dedicated to statues, because that is its own beast.
Dude, that's a whole other world. Like,
oh my God. Yeah. Yes, it is, because they're also like the variants, I guess, and then like they're limited, and yeah, it's a whole nother
just
thing.
That tiny little detail of the belt. Who in the world would know that? I mean, I'm sure collectors out there of statues would have known that, but the rest of us are like, no idea.
Yeah. Like, does it have the belt or does it not have the belt? That makes a difference. Oh.
That is crazy.
Jen, do you have statues in your house?
I have. Well, actually, I ordered my first hot toy, which is the Ahsoka one that's coming out at the end of this year, and that's my first hot toy. I kind of wanted that Ahsoka with the my mind's blanking, with the owl.
Rosario Dart. What?
There's like an owl. There's a name for the owl. It's a creature from the Soul Like Mortis episode. But like, yeah, it's when you start, because even at comic book stores, you go in, you're like, oh, that looks cool. What's the price? Ooh,
Yeah, these are so expensive. I really do think it'd be neat to kind of do a show of like the top 10 sought after statues that people are trying to find and just kind of, illuminate this world that the rest of us are just kind of like, oh, it's just like a really cool action figure. Ooh, Anthony just glared at me for that one. He's like, they're action figures that don't move.
No, you can't. No, because you can't play with them. Like that's the thing. Is like
they're not action figures.
Because like you can play with.
Megan,
and, like,
you're fighting with Anthony.
But like, but statues. And then if you have animals like cats, I feel like you can't have statues because that'll be on the floor or in pieces, right?
Oops, sorry, my bad. Yeah, exactly. If the cat's like probably using it to like swing off of. Megan, somebody wants to know. They said they missed the question. Can you explain one more time about the clothes?
So I originally owned the top. It's a lip service top that I got from Hot Topic and that I wore to the casting audition for the job. And then when I got the job, he's like, can you find pants to match? And I'm like, I can do my best. And I went back to Hot Topic and sure enough, they had a pair of lip service vinyl bondage pants that I've actually had to replace again because, like I said, vinyl has a lifespan. And so, and God bless lip service
That's
and their vinyl clothing.
That's awesome. Jen, did you have a question about cosplaying that you wanted to ask?
Oh, yeah. If you, what other cosplays would you like to transform into, or characters you would like to,
Okay. So I mentioned this before that I found an image of a female Assassin's Creed character that looked so cool. I don't know if it was an actual character or if it was just like a female in an Assassin's Creed, with the.
Was it white?
With the hood. Yeah, she was white, went in a white hood, and it was really freaking awesome artwork. And I'm like, I want to do that. And then Tank Girl. Hands down, man. I would shave the side of my head and I would do Tank Girl.
That's awesome. When you want to do another cosplay, do you do like more research about the characters and stuff like that? Or is you just go off of like whatever you see?
Well, okay. I don't do a lot of cosplay. I just, it's not that it's not my thing. It's just that I have friends who cosplay and they know their shit and I can't compete with them. So I feel I'm a little bit like,
I'm
not worthy. So, but you just find something you love. I mean, there's a lot of debate in the cosplay community. Are you the right size for it? Are you the right color? Are you the right gender? Fuck it. As long as it sparks your fancy, go for it. Paint yourself green, squeeze yourself into an outfit, make the outfit to fit your body. That's all that matters. As long as it makes you happy, just do it.
Yeah,
it's a good cosplay,
right? Yeah, I asked because I only done Wonder Woman, and it was Bombshell Wonder Woman because that's my favorite, and but then I have only done it once, and I had a friend because I'm not creative to make something like I can't make it myself, so I had a friend do it for me, and I just like wore the thing because it is difficult, and you said you painted. When you said that you painted yourself, like teach you how to like find something specific and how to do it, or?
Well, years ago, before I started painting myself for Mystique, I did a lot of work for MAC Comics, MAC Cosmetics, and they would have this product, or at least they used to, called Chroma Cakes, and so they would body paint me. And like as part of the promotion for the Chroma Cakes. And so that's how I got introduced into body painting. And I've done a lot of body painting for other projects and different things in the subsequent years. But Chroma Cake was awesome. It was the perfect color blue. And I just mixed it with a little bit of alcohol, rubbing alcohol, so it would dry quick. The only problem is that it would flake off. And like in the armpit and like around where the clothing was touching and everything like that. So my big problem over the years was finding paint where I could paint myself. but it kind of all would flake off, because really what you want to do is get airbrushed. Well, I can't airbrush myself, and I can't afford to have someone come and airbrush me for cons and stuff like that. So, it's trial and error, different products. Yeah.
No, I'm glad Lucy brought that up, because this is the part that I've been excited about this whole interview. I've been sitting here like waiting. Actually, it's not an interview. It's just hanging out with Meghan.
Yeah.
Anyways, I've been so excited about this.
Okay.
So cool.
So
Start at the beginning. Just start the very, very beginning.
How did you
years ago, I dated this guy named Brian Steele. He was a monster performer. He's and he's done like if you saw Hellboy, he was the little creature dog in the beginning, and he's oh my god, he was Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not the original guy. The original guy died, but then he got the job when the guy unfortunately passed on. But anyway, so he's done a bunch of like some of my favorite things. I found out, I'm like, oh my god, that was you. So anyways, I randomly started dating him, and he the production company, not the production company, but the special effects company that does all his work was doing the makeup for Jennifer Lawrence, and they needed to test run the makeup. And so I got the job because I happened to be dating the right guy at the time. I love LA. I basically, it's what happens is you're in the right place at the right time, and you knew the right people, and they were looking, and so I'm like, perfect. Which is kind of why they only painted me from the waist up, and they didn't have the wig, but the rest of that stuff was silicone. It's silicone prosthetics and glued to my hair with silicone and all kinds of good stuff. And the makeup was amazing, and
wow, that is
like
crazy.
it's just the little things like he flecked some red onto the skin afterwards, just to get like a little bit of variation, so it's not just one solid color.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Wow.
Jen, I can tell you want to ask her something. Go ahead.
Oh, so I think because I don't know if everyone's listened to that interview with Jennifer Lawrence, and she's like, oh, the makeup, like I know that all I know is that there's a lot of actors who have to stand there, like Gamora, right, and Jennifer Lawrence, who stand there for hours to get like completely done. What is that like?
Okay, let me tell you now. Props to Jennifer Lawrence, because she got to know her makeup artist up close and personal for a very long time. To paint me from the waist up took 6 hours.
What?
Wow. Just half of 6 hours.
It is not a slapdash job. Okay, they
But
know
it's
their
not
shit.
comfortable, right? This probably feels like you're wearing, like, I'm picturing it feeling like you're wearing like a bunch of like sticky rubber.
It's very comfortable. Because you have to understand, like all those pieces are like several different pieces, right? It's not just one thing glued onto your face. Like the forehead is one piece, but then you've got like 5 different pieces on your face. So it's all like moving and interchanging with your as you're talking and moving. And
What happens if you sweat?
I don't sweat.
Like, does it start running? Like,
It's the type of makeup they use, and it doesn't run, and you have to have to get the makeup off me was not a soap and water job. So it's
like turpentine.
They had to have like a chemical. It was great because I had this great picture of me holding my boobs with just makeup straight down my body as they were taking the makeup off.
Oh, so they take the makeup off for you. They help you to remove it. You don't just go home. Okay. They don't send you home. Okay.
No, she goes home on the bus, heads over to the grocery store.
Oh, they had to. That stuff was glued into my hairline too.
Oh, was it tough? Like, I mean,
it was.
Oh,
it was like I just basically had to brace myself, and I went like, "I trust you, Tigor." And because it's silicone, right? Or I don't know what they're using nowadays, but that was silicone, and then they put silicone to glue it to your skin. Well, it kind of got meshed into my hairline a little bit.
So what was more difficult, standing there to do all the makeup, or actually removing everything?
Removing everything.
Wow.
No shit, really.
I told you I did the stuff for MAC Cosmetics, and I learned years ago that I have the patience for this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not everybody does, but so that's getting painted is not, you know, standing for hours, half naked, cold. I have the patience for that. It was taking the makeup off that, you know, because you have all the little tiny hairs in your face and it grabbed.
It's incredible, Megan. Like the amount of patience in this is just, it's so neat too. But so you're saying the top half took 6 hours. So Jennifer Lawrence theoretically was there for about 15 hours.
And she I don't know, I forget how long they said. And of course she's got the prosthetics on her crotch too.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they started to do things where they like had her clothed, right, to kind of like make it faster. So we'll just do her face and her hands, right?
Right. Yeah.
Started like, but yeah, you're right. There's a couple scenes where you're like, oh man, that's gonna
fully on like that. Oh my god, that is just so. I mean, it's amazing.
And famously, Rebecca Romaine. Remember, she was freezing ass cold during that first movie because she's just standing naked in the background for like no reason.
All right, Solo okay said it's called spirit gum, is what the glue is called.
No, it's not. It was not spirit gum. No, it's literally they were using silicone to glue the silicone to my skin.
I think spirit gum is what they use for like cosplayers, because I remember reading about that because I bought a mask from the UK because I was going to do it for a little bit and then I got scared. So I bought a mask from the UK that was like supposed to be like Nightwing, and I was trying to figure out because it didn't have the attachment; it just was supposed to go on your face. So spirit gum is what other people use, but this is like professional. Like
Spirit gum's great. Use it for pasties too.
It's so neat.
I was gonna ask him like, how was it with the like? How do you like? It was completely
nipples,
naked, or
yeah.
the
See, I just at a certain point, I'm just like, look, I trust you guys. You're gonna see my body. You're gonna see my boobs. There's no way around it. They have to glue that shit to your body.
Yeah,
it's like going to the gyno. You just kind of surrender yourself to it. So
Pretty much.
Yeah, this is gonna happen whether we like it or not.
Like everybody's a professional in this room. Right. You know, I have my rules, right? Because I've done strategic placement, nearly naked photography and stuff like that, and I'm like for products and stuff like that, and I'm like, this is how many people can be in the room. Everybody's professional here. There's no looky-loos, etc.
Makes sense. I would be horrible at that because I stare. I'm such a bad, like, I'm the one person who's all like staring, like I can't help it. Like,
Lucy, stop looking at my boob, man.
Yeah. I can't help it. That's just, and it's not me for being a creep. It's just like I'm like, what's happening? I don't. I'm horrible at that.
JJ Maxwell brought up about the urban legend about the lady who played the Goldfinger.
I believe she died.
Yeah, I believe that too for a while, but so yeah.
No, what about the Tin Man from
Wizard of Oz?
Yeah.
Oh well, but that was actual poisoning from the makeup. It wasn't like an asphyxiation thing. It was like chemical poisoning
from the older days.
Because of what they were using.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I imagine you went home feeling kind of blue.
Oh.
Anthony shaking his head over here. Anyways, this is just so cool, Megan. We're so thrilled that we were able to have you on. Now, I know that having people out there watching this, you're going to want to see what Megan's up to because she is a woman of many talents. We barely scratched the surface of her portfolio and what she offers. So can you tell us where they can find you?
So if you find me at entering.meganland on Facebook and Meganland on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter too, but I'm not there. The rumors have been greatly exaggerated. I'll tell you though, right now my new role as mommy has been taking priority, especially with the pandemic and everything. So stuff has been put back on the back burner for a little bit.
Mm.
I have a feeling you're going to be back. I have a feeling you're going to come back and we're going to see you as Tank Girl or some type of really cool rendition, and I'm excited for it. I will 100% support you, as will the girls. I think what you've done for the female character of Mystique is incredible. And I don't know, I applaud your ability to make this character come to life. It's so very cool. And of course, we're comic book women, so one for all for one. Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. All right, hold on really quickly here. I'm going to take this. Can you get that one off? So guys, if you enjoyed the show, make sure that you do us a favor and follow us on Facebook at The Comic Book Women. Subscribe to our channel, Tales from the Flipside, and we have an Instagram page. We have Twitter that Jen is handling, theoretically, right? Theoretically. We are going to be back. Jen, can you tell me what we have coming up on Friday?
We are going to be doing a non-spoiler reaction first for the WandaVision season finale, and then we'll come back a few seconds or minutes later and do a spoiler review. So you're warned.
Oh, it's going to be fun. I'm a little bit nervous, but you guys come out and support us. It'll be our first time ever doing a show review. So
and we'll be in our pajamas.
We'll be really, I mean, Lucy's
no
time
makeup.
is like
And drinking coffee.
My time is 5 p.m., so don't expect a happy face.
Maybe put a little bit of Bailey's in your coffee.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
do that in the morning, not in the morning.
Yeah, it's fine. It's coffee, basically. It's fine. So make sure you support us Friday morning, bright and early, and we'll be back again next Tuesday. Megan, thank you again for coming out. Everybody out there, have a good night.